Okay. Firstly, thank you for being our interviewer today. My name is Rafina, and this is my partner.
Nabila.
We're from
Okay.
third
Hello,
semester
Miss.
of English Education
Mm.
Department, and we want to interview you.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction. And how are you both doing? Uh, Let me start with my introduction, okay? And thank you so much for having me today. And my name is Muhammad Abu Bakr Siddiq. And also, I'm quite very glad to be a part of this interview of yours, okay?
All
And
right.
I will hope to give you some knowledge or a clear picture of the teaching profession. So maybe even inspire you so you can choose this teaching profession as your goal to your futures.
All right. What should I call you?
Muhammad Abu Bakr, or you can just go with Muhammad or Abu Bakr, whatever is more
Mm,
comfortable for you.
okay, Abu Bakar. From this, my friend will take turn for the first until fourth question. And then after that, I will continue it and close it.
Hmm,
All
that's a
right.
good tactic. Yeah, proceed.
Okay.
Okay.
We will move to the question of the interview. The first question is, what motivated you to become a teacher?
Hmm. I'd say the motivation for me to become a teacher is not the profession, like not when I joined this profession. I became a teacher even before I started like teaching formally. Even before that, I was used to teaching and explaining concepts to my friends, and they when they get it, I get a feeling of satisfaction and completeness. So that's how it I kind of got motivated to pursue this teaching profession.
Yes, that's a good answer. Thank you for the answer.
No
And
problem. If
the
you have,
second question is,
yes.
what do you enjoy the most about being a teacher?
That's very good question, and quite a very deep question actually. The thing I enjoy the most is the connection with students. Every class brings different personalities, different challenges, and different learning styles. I love being able to adjust my approach to make things easier for them. That's what a teachers do normally. When students grow more confident, when improve, when they start behaving in themselves, that's the part of teaching that makes everything worth it.
Oh, so the okay, the next question is, what are the biggest challenges you face as a teacher?
Okay. As for the challenges, I'd say you can say like for example, take a class of students. In a normal class of students, some students are kind of fast learners, like they get whatever you explain to them in a very easier way. They have a different way of looking at things, so they get the topic, or you deliver your lecture very easily. But some of the students, they are like quite a bit slow and a bit dull, so facing them is a little bit of a challenging, because not all are same. The students, some are a bit slow learners, some are quite quick learners, some are normal. So kind of delivering a lecture to them is quite very challenging for me. And also specifically, like when you conduct a class in an online meeting or online application, when you are trying to deliver a lecture there are different kind of distractions. So engaging the class in that scenario is quite very challenging for me.
That's so good, good answer.
And
And
listen to me.
the
Also, listen to me. The most important, you can say the most important point of being a teacher is time management. Because if you are in an institute, they give you a specific time, like around you have to deliver this lecture in 60 minutes or 45 minutes. So managing the time in that scenario is also quite very challenging, and the most basic point of being a teacher.
okay, thank you for the answer. And the last question from me is, how do you usually overcome those challenges?
Mm, okay. As for myself, everyone thinks differently about situations and scenarios because, like, everyone have their own. Wait a second, please. I'm very sorry about that. I just had. I'm very sorry. As for your question, like how I overcome my challenges, as I said before, like everyone thinks differently and pursue a challenge in a different way. But as for my own method, I try to stay flexible and patient. I break down difficult topics into smaller and simpler steps and adjust my explanations depending on the student. You see? So, like that, every student can understand it more easily. When you make a topic more simpler, so every student can get it. You see? That's how overcome that kind of a challenge. And also, communication with your students. That's also very important. When you understand your students, when you communicate with them and build a different kind of a relation with them, that's how you can overcome any kind of a challenge.
Okay, so Nabila part is done, and then I will take
Mhm.
turn to ask you a few more questions. Okay, it's the fifth question. What is the
Mhm.
most memorable moment you have experienced as a teacher?
Okay, it's quite a very good question. I have to take a moment to think about that. Mm. In my teaching profession and experience, as far as I remember, the most memorable part for me that I've experienced as being a teacher is the moment I've taught a student, and when he got to his exams and he kind of got a very good grades in his examinations, and then he came back to me and kind of, you can say, gave me all the credit for it. Like he attended the exam, all the pressure and all of that, but still he gave me all of the credit for it. He told me that, teacher, that I passed that examination just because of you. So that was the more, you can say, the most fruitful moment for me in my teaching experience. The students were happy. I also felt a satisfaction in my heart. So you can say that's the most memorable moment for me as being a teacher.
That's interesting answer. Okay, we will move to next question. What skills or qualities do you think are important for future teacher to have?
Hmm. Well, I'd say if I give you some tips for that, I'll say consistency. Okay, consistency and also patience is the most essential part of being a teacher, because sometimes we are also humans, right? We do lose our temper, we do feel a little low. So keeping yourself patient and consistent, for that, that's very important. And also communication skills are also extremely important, and not just speaking but listening to your students and building a more comfortable environment for them so they can speak their mind and you can then, when you get comfortable with your students, then you can deliver a lecture more easily, because you can judge yourself by that. Like when you are comfortable with your teacher or your mentor, then you kind of accepts whatever he or she says, because you are in a more comfortable environment. So that are what a good teacher is. If you have to build a more comfortable environment for them, so your minds can go through their hearts.
Okay, we almost in the end of our interview. This is the last
Okay.
question from us.
Mm.
What advice would you give to teacher candidates like me, like us, who
Mm.
are preparing to enter the teaching profession?
Mm. That's very good question, I'd say. I'd say my advice for you is, don't try to be a perfect teacher, okay? Focus on being an improving teacher. Learn from every class, stay curious, and don't be afraid to experiment with different methods to deliver your lecture or deliver what you want. Build real connections with your students. Understand them first, teach them second. You see? And most importantly, enjoy the process, because if you are not into this profession, you do not love what you do, you cannot kind of make something out of that. So first, passion about what you do is very important. So that's my tip, or anything that I have in mind for you, for our future teachers.
Okay, Sir Abu Bakar, we finally come to the end of our interview.
Mm.
Uh, from ada lagi yang mau ngomong? Udah. Okay, I'm Rafina Tenazahwa and my partner.
Nabila.
So we fully thank you for your participation, because it's for our assignment. And
Mm.
then
Hope you get
thank you
good
for
grades
giving
in
me the
that,
time.
and also you understand what I said, what I tried to teach you. I hope you get that. And also, I hope you'll be very good teachers in your future. And also remember, do what you love, okay? If you do not love what you do, then you cannot make something out of that.
Okay,
Get it?
you're very inspirational. Thank you for you.
Thank you so much for
Okay.
inviting me and for the thoughtful question.
Okay. Udah? Okay.